Stay wet and dive into the River City Current right now. All right, so the first thing that we always talk about this is being a helicopter parent. And right now, technology has made it even more so to kind of spy on your kids.
Okay, you've got to look at this with the right perspective. It's called the Benjamin Button camera. It's about $250. You put it on your child, and the video is from your child's perspective. It goes for about 3 hours at a time before you need to recharge it. And then supposedly you can either go through and pick out the best and share it on social media or what have you. But again, I want to say that I think the intention of this is to get a kid's eye perspective of a day in their life. So I think it's kind of cool if you think about it.
And there's a study with this that 69% of dads that work miss out on the milestones of the kid. And that was kind of an eye-opener because it's true, you know, and they just did it on dads, you know. So if you're missing out on those moments, how can you ever go back and recapture them? Well, this will allow you to do it. The other thing that I think is kind of cool, it's from the perspective, it's almost like a GoPro, you know, just what you were using on the slide. So it's kind of, you know, the level of the kid, so you kind of see, you know, not a bird's eye view, but a kid's eye view of like what they're doing and what they're getting into.
But how are you really seeing there first if it's from their perspective? That's the only thing. I think like a nanny cam or something would probably be more efficient for that. But I see that it would be fun. But I also think it'd be cool to go back years later and see what you were seeing then. I mean, I think it would be fun to go back and see the footage of me as a toddler walking around and say, oh, okay, I saw it did look big. You know,
playing with the dog and stuff like that. Your first time on a merry-go-round, that kind of thing. Of course, I'm going to the darker side. This is just another way for the parents to keep tabs on the kids.
I don't know. Can you get a teenager to wear it, though?
This device here, I think it had the best intentions to make sure you capture those moments. However, I'm sure there's another company out there that will take this technology and do exactly what you're talking about. I'm like, wait a minute, you know, can I put this on my kid? Yeah, can I put it on my teenager and know what they're doing?
They'll make it so cheap that it can be right there in buttons on your shirt, or you wouldn't even know you're wearing it.
Yeah. Oh, like when you put the little spy app on your kid's phone, you'll be able, like you said, a little button, and it's like your kid never knows it. It's like, oh, you wear these, here are these special earrings that you always wear.
Well, here's the thing. I hate to say it, but like as my kids get older, I think they're probably in, but like you're at the age, or your kids are at the age now where you would want to know exactly what they're doing because, again, they're older. They have just the ability to get in a car and drive away. So like, well, I know you spy because you took pictures of you spying before. So I know the answer.
Spy. Right. But also, there's not as bad as my friend that put the baby monitor under her daughter's bed.
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't even work anymore because everything is just text now. You wouldn't be able to hear anything. But I think that you spy until you just can't stand it anymore. Then you're like, la, 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 la. Because some of the things, you know, you have to let it go.
Right.
You just have to. And then other things.
We have some time before this, but it's...
Well, once you reveal your spying, so you have to choose your battles. Once you let the cat out of the bag, like all your texts are coming in on my iPad. Once you say it, you can't read them anymore.
One thing you were smart with that I took a note, and I remember you talking about this, you had an ally with your daughter to spy on your son.
Well, because I didn't want him, I didn't even want to request him on Instagram or anything like that because I thought, well, then he'll just set up another one. Not that he would, I'm saying then he could. So instead what I did was I just had two things. I had a friend's mom.
Yeah.
Whose son was friend, and I just kind of went in all these little back doors.
Right. It's what our CIA does. You know, you plant these little cells all over the place, and you get the reconnaissance you need in order to make educated decisions. I get it, Eden.
I try not to ever be preachy, but I will say this: if you're not spying on your kids on social media, you're missing out on a really good time.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Good to know. Good to know.
One of the things that's trending right now, and it actually has been for a while, is the whole superhero theme. Now, coming up on Friday, Wonder Woman, that's going to come out in theaters, and everybody's been talking about it because it's the first time ever that it will be all about a woman superhero. And it looks so good right now from the trailers and all that. But then it brings you back to the science part of it is, can humans actually have superpowers?
It has been proven by science that there are actually 3 genes that people do have in their DNA. It doesn't always represent or present itself, but we won't get into the science of it, but there is a DNA gene for super muscle strength, super speed, and super bone strength. And it just made me think of movies that I've seen, like Super Strength, you know, maybe The Hulk. Yeah. You might say Superman, but you're not flying. Super Speed, The Flash, you know, any of those. But then super bone strength, I just think of Unbreakable, like Mr. Glass and all that. But I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, I watch a lot of those superhero shows. We were just talking about a reality show that Justin was pulling up YouTube video of, like, humans doing superhuman things. But you think of, like, Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where people have these superpowers, and then how do people deal with that? Because it's kind of freaky when you think about it.
It's interesting, too, because with science, there are mutations that happen, and some mutations are bad and they lead to disease, but there are other mutations that you were talking about, like with speed. So it's fast twitch muscle fibers. Some people just were dealt a very healthy dose of those muscle fibers, and they're really fast. They're born that way. You know, they always used to say, like, I remember, like, in college football, you can't teach speed. You're either born with it or you're not.
I mean, you can
work on
train
a little bit,
for it,
a little bit, yeah. But having that raw ability and that frame for it, and the same thing too with muscle. Some people can just build a lot of muscle, not really do a lot. So it is kind of neat that that happens. Now, are you a superhero? You just were dealt some pretty good genetic cards to make it that much easier for you to get gains.
I mean, an example for me is, like, I'm a big Bruce Lee fan, and I see all the, I've read a bunch of different books and articles, and then, like, something popped up the other day, and it talks about, like, he had a 200 IQ. He could actually push you back have it punch you from an inch away, and it would basically cave your chest in. He did 1-finger push-ups.
Yeah.
You know?
So with him, you know, it goes back to what you were saying, training. He trained religiously, like 12 hours a day. He was obsessed with training and trying to figure out the things. So there you had a guy with a lot of natural ability and the good genetics along with the work ethic.
That could take you to that superhuman mode. One or the other, maybe not so much, but if you combine the two, that's pretty intense.
If you could have a superpower?
If I could have a superpower, you know what I would like to be able to see everything in slow motion as it's happening?
That's good.
Okay.
You know, like get my thoughts together faster, process things faster.
You know, if you eliminate a Red Bull or two, you might be able to have that happen.
Well, at what cost?
Yeah, exactly. Like, whoa, Peyton.
There is no, you know, without sacrifice, I guess. Why, do you have one, Rance, that you thought about?
I don't. I mean, I would like to, my thing, I would like to teleport, because, I mean, traveling, I love to travel. I hate to fly in planes. I hate to drive in the car. Can I just be there already? That would be my superpower.
But do you have one that would be something that you could genetically have?
No. I mean, I've already got the cannons working, so.
What about you, Peyton?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, being able to fly would be really cool. Do you guys remember how we were introduced to each other for the show? We were talking about what superpower we would have, and that was about 2 years ago. And it was funny at the time, I didn't even know they were coming out with the Wonder Woman movie, and I'd say, whatever Wonder Man might have, because I always had a crush on Wonder Woman, so whatever skill set that was, that's what I want.
I'm super stoked to see that movie, by the way.
That's going to be great. Did you know that she was 5 months pregnant during some of the scenes that they did?
Yeah.
She really is Wonder Woman.
She's awesome. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman.
So here's something I think that a superpower we'd all like to have is the ability to clean our house, right? Especially if we could do it quick and easy. Well, we don't really have to have a superpower because technology has already met us there. Meet the Laundroid. It's a half robot, half laundry device that folds your clothes. And now it's voice animated. So all you have to do is just talk and say, fold my clothes, and it will fold up. That's it, yeah. So now it's $16,000. So yeah, you win some, you lose some. Yeah, it might be. But I hate doing laundry at my house. And again, you know, we have a good-sized family, so that thing is constantly running. And we do this all the time where we'll wash clothes and we'll forget to dry them, and then it kind of smells.
Then you
have to wash them again. And then you might forget about it the second or third time.
And it's so hard to get it out, that little stench out once it's in. It doesn't matter how much washing
It's like a clean mildew smell combined.
If you train those boys up right, you won't need a laundroid.
That's one thing that we're trying to do. They're getting to that age now to make sure they're getting better at putting like all their socks, underwear and stuff like in the little hampers upstairs. We even like have them color coded and stuff like that. So they're getting better at that. But we're not there yet.
The main thing that teaching anybody laundry is separating the whites from the colors, especially when you're because I knew so many guys in college. My mom taught me. She taught me. She's like, you're gonna know you're and coming down so many guys. I'm like, you didn't separate your stuff, did you? No. Did you use bleach? Yeah. Good luck with that, buddy.
It's weird. In my house, I do more of the laundry than my wife does. And the reason why, growing up, again, I was one of 8 kids, so like you had to fend for yourself. I was probably 6, like doing loads of laundry, knowing like the delicate cycle, what it was, you know, not mixing things up and stuff like that. So I learned at a young age, and on how to do that stuff.
That's funny.
Oh, well, all right. I'll let that roll in.
Stick around. We've got more River City Live coming up. We'll be right back.
Wait, we'll be right back.
Don't let the summer heat get to your hair.